What we've discovered is that aging is very likely a corruption of the software of the body. So that as we get older, the software doesn't function very well, things slow down, break, and we get diseases.
Is age reversal possible? Can we slow down the aging process? Let's explore the work of Dr. David Sinclair, a Harvard professor in genetics. Let's first hear him explain, what is aging?
For about the past 50 years, popular theory has held that the process of aging is caused in large part by an accumulation of mutations. There's growing evidence, however, that aging has a significant epigenetic component. That is, the process by which stretches of DNA or the genes are turned on and off. My colleagues and I believe that not only are epigenetic changes a primary cause of aging, but that these changes are driven by the ongoing process of DNA breakage and repair.
Science has known about epigenetics for some time, but the link to aging has just been put forward and accepted amongst leading scientists. Epigenetic is how our DNAs are being regulated to produce other genes in order to function properly. In a typical DNA, when there's a damage to the DNA, the repair genes move to fix the genes and move back. In a human body, there are millions of damages a day all over the body. As the repair genes do their works, a small proportion do not move back to its original locations. After some time, this results in DNAs not being able to produce genes which is necessary to function. Wrong genes are turned on or off. A skin cell that cannot produce genes to function as a skin cell then loses its identity. And this is aging. To prove this, the Harvard lab engineered a mice to have its DNA getting damaged 3 times the normal rate. The result shows 2 mice, one normal controlled mice and another engineered born at the same time. The older looking one is tested and shows all the signs of aging, like genomic instability, telomere attrition, and mitochondrial dysfunction. Aging is now better understood. The next question is how to slow aging. There is a theory in biology, where evolution has evolved 2 types of genes. One group is to grow and reproduce when food and safety is abundant. Another is to protect and repair in times of adversity. These group of what is called longevity genes, when activated, help to slow down aging. The longevity genes, when activated, protect the cells by cleaning up the cells. It helps to reduce the errors, where repair genes cannot get back to its original locations. Thus, this slows down aging at a cellular level.
There are 3 types of longevity gene. They're the ones we work on, called sirtuins, and they control the information in the cell. In fact, SIR in the sirtuin stands for silent information regulator, number 2. There are other ones. The other group is called AMP kinase, or AMPK. This group of genes senses how much energy we're taking in, mostly in the form of sugar. And then the third group is called mTOR, and these genes control and respond to how much amino acids we're taking in. There are these molecules that turn on the sirtuin pathway and trick the body. And so, for example, in the lab, if I give some of our mice a molecule called NMN, which raises the level of a chemical called NAD, you get hyperactive defenses in the body.
And what did you see in these, senescent mice that you gave NMN to?
Well, we had a bit of an incident. These mice that we gave NMN to ran 50% further, but actually some of them ran so far that the machine, the little treadmill, stopped working. And we had to reprogram the software because this program had never seen a mouse that ran more than 3 kilometers.
3 kilometers for a mouse?
For an old mouse. They outran the young mice.
And that's like an ultramarathon for us.
That would be probably like taking a 70-year-old and making them run faster than a 20-year-old further. So these are ultramarathoners. And if we did that to humans, imagine you could have 90-year-olds winning Olympic medals.
The NMN test on mice to slow aging for old mice was back in 2018. Since then, there are already a lot of supplements that can boost NMN levels in cells available in the market. So what's next? We look now at the lab evidence of age reversal in mice. In 2016, Dr. Yamanaka won a Nobel Prize for his work. He proved that from any adult cell, by applying 4 proteins, you can turn them back to a pluripotent stem cell. This is a hint to show that we can reset the age clock of any cell. Let's look at what the Harvard team did.
There are 2 states that we're finding. If you go all the way back to what Yamanaka did, then you're losing the cell's identity. There's an intermediate step that we're using where cells get to a younger state, but they stop. We're interested in aging in every tissue. The eye was a good model system. But that was the first experiment. We went on to treat glaucoma and even old age vision loss. This is the traumatized optic nerve that was pinched. And there's an orange dye that you can see that when the nerves are dying back unhealthy, those nerves don't take up the dye. And so the untreated eye will lose its vision, similar to the breaking of a spinal cord. What we did in the other mouse was to turn on the 3 Yamanaka genes, O, S, and K, for 3 weeks and have a look what happened. And remember, David, this is after the damage had occurred. We weren't prepping the cells. And what we found, and this was a remarkable day, my student texted me the result. You could see that the nerves were growing back towards the brain. In fact, if we leave them for 16 weeks, many of those nerves actually make it all the way back to where they meet the brain again, the chiasm, which is a first. This hasn't been done before. There's very little you can do for damaged nerves. But then we looked at the age of those cells, and 2 interesting things came out. One was that the damage accelerated aging according to the Horvath clock, which we didn't expect. I mean, who knew that damage would accelerate aging? But it does. And then the reprogramming factors delayed and reversed that age so that they became young and could grow back again.
Dr. David Sinclair's research is at the forefront of the fight against aging. By studying the genetics of aging and finding ways to slow down or even reverse the process, he is offering hope to millions of people who are affected by age-related diseases. His work is truly groundbreaking. Thanks for watching, and please support the channel.